banked by the Ohio River and the city's abundance of hills. We're at Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead is what should be a very entertaining matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals. An undefeated start against a winless Skid. Let's see if this week goes chalk or if it's an upset brewing in week 4. Nicole Hardman now on the return. And already we've got loose football. And the fumble recovery is made. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. So never mind about who's receiving to start this game, Brock. Got ourselves a change of possession already, and this crowd is loving it.
And the first offense you'll see take the field is the home team, which is practically sprinting out there to take advantage and keep this crowd humming.
Burrow's first play going to the air. And this one won't be caught, but we got a flag here. Looked like there may have been some early contact before that throw arrived. And it's as we expected, partner. The call pass interference, so put it at the spot and give him that first down. Oh, an exceptionally painful penalty as it sets up 1st and 10 now inside the red zone.
11. Stop.
Burrow from the gun. That throw finds Jamar Chase. And it's close, but he's not going to score out of bounds right at the goal line, Brock. It's going to be 1st and goal.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
The charge into traffic, but the line doesn't budge. They stall him out short.
Oh, so aggravatingly close to a safety on that one right there, Kate. Just a matter of a foot, and they could have had some points on the board defensively.
Burrow's going to sneak it. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Bengals finish off their opening drive. Joe Burrow with the touchdown on a quarterback sneak to the end zone. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Hartman with a return. And this gets out to the 30 before he stopped. Falcons getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10. Now Penix off the play action. Got a man, it's Drake London. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. It's 6. And that's a Falcon first down. Great start to this drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. Play fake, Penix. That's incomplete left side.
Their offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting the completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. It just couldn't quite find the connection.
They're going to run it here. It's Bijan Robinson. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Made by Demetrius Knight.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, that's the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune third down situation.
And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And that is good enough for an Atlanta first down. All set to go now from the 35. 1st and 10, a run to Robinson. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11. And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock, here who got to have short memories. You tell me this too. Defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it. because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
That's caught by the rookie from Texas A&M. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27.
Okay, that is the epitome of trust right there. Right, when the ball is let out of his hands, I think everybody on the sidelines in the stadium went, because you throw it in double coverage, and you may question the decision, but it's tough to challenge it when it produces results.
And this is going to go in the wrong direction. He loses just about the amount of yards they needed to get there. It's going to be 4th down. All right, so they're going for this. I like this being aggressive from the get-go on their opening drive. Trying for it with Penix. That one's caught by Mooney. And he takes this one nearly to the red zone before going out. So they hit him for 5 yards on 4th down, and they get the successful conversion. So a new set of downs. Here we go, 1st and 10. Robinson on the inside give. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Firing quickly is Penix, complete. And it's another 1st down on this drive. Man, this time they're into 1st and goal.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
Here's Robinson. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on 1st and goal. Ooh, talk about a bad look there, Brock. Going jumbo set and still moving backwards after that play.
I don't think you're talking to this defense, Kate, because I think they thought that was an excellent look to knock that thing backwards.
Yeah, good point, good point. Catch made. And in for the Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons finish off their opening drive. Kyle Pitts with a touchdown. That one right down the middle. And the Falcons respond with 7 of their own to tie it here early. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. He's stopped on the run back of the 27. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this.
I'm one, ready?
Time for our second quarter. It'll be Bengals football to begin. They have 1st and 10.
11 MT, 11 MT.
Burrow now on 1st down. Catch made by Chase Brown. And he crosses the sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. One of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Burrow out of the shotgun. Finding Brown back-to-back plays. And they do get him down, but the damage is done. This kid's down inside the 35-yard line. A big 34-yard pickup there. And a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati.
I think one of my favorite adjectives, I don't know why, it just sounds good off the lips, is shred. Shredding paper. Shredding the slopes. Or do shredding a defense just like that.
Go left side, and Gesicki hears it. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Bengals have a 1st down.
On one, ready?
10 at the 22-yard line.
11, come. Here we go. Right, 80. 11.
Sticking in the air, it's Burrow. It's his running back. He dodged the tackle, and he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals take a second quarter lead. McPherson at the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Bengals break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. across the 20.
The Falcons take over first and 10. At their own
Atlanta about ready to go now. First and 10. They put Mooney in motion right. They give here to the motion man. And he stopped quickly here. 2 yards on the play. We've got second and 8. Need a better result than that last run. It's second and 8. Penix working from the gun. Flush down out to his left. Not enough on this throw. It hits the turf instead of his man. Looking for his wide receiver there. So now it's going to be third and long.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Third down, it's Penix. That one complete to Pitts. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's a Falcon first down. So fresh set of downs now from the 39. Man in motion here. Running left is Robinson. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackle for a loss. We've got second and 11.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Completed over the middle. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first. Penix here from the gun. And they're finally able to get to him and touch him down. But damage already done as they pick up that first down.
That's another Falcons first down. It's a gain of 23 yards. And the Falcon first down.
From the gun, it's Robinson. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means third down coming up.
Job one of so many D tackles in this league is eat up space. Don't get moved off your spot. But the difference makers, they just not only eat the space, they eat those runners too.
Bengals get to him and take him down. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. As they'll get together and discuss with fourth down coming up. The Falcons getting ready for the punt. They needed 3 punts out of him in last week's loss as he sends this away. And he put just a little too much on this one as it hits in the end zone for a touchback. Bengals getting set, Brock. Here comes first and 10. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Got a man, it's Gesicki. And he's going to be sent out of bounds just after he crosses the 35. That play good for 17 on a first down. We've set it downs from the 37.
Here we go.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
First down, Burrow to throw. Now we'll just throw it away, but here comes the flag. There was nobody in the neighborhood of that one. No one in the area. He was still in the pocket. Seems like a pretty cut and dry intentional grounding to me.
Seems like you want to be an official someday, Kate.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah, because you nailed that one.
Here we go.
Burrow to the air now. He isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And for the second straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough third down.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go, and let that pass rush get home.
Looks like the Falcons are opting for dime coverage for this third down.
Here we go. 11 Thomas.
Here he goes, third and long. spend the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
I don't know why, Kate, but when I'm thinking of this series that we all just watched, I'm just hearing the sound. Not a whole lot of other ways to describe the set of downs that we just watched and the results that followed. It was 3rd and extra long, and now it's 4th and forever.
All right, so they're only going to have enough time for 1 more snap here before we reach halftime. Not much time left in the half, so the kicking team out on 1st down. Ball spotted on that right hash, 53 yards out. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
I don't think there's any question. This is going to be a close game when it's all said and done because it's awfully tight here at the half. And that field goal, that gives them a little more confidence running into the locker room.
Here's Charlie Jones with the return. And that is a crunching hit that ends our opening half. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. The Falcons kickoff team out there as they'll send this away. His return starts at the 5. Things going well so far. He showed some nice bursts on that run back, didn't he? Getting all the way out to their own 40.
Yeah, there's no question about it, Kate. That just infuses everybody. A little more bounce in your step now, both in and out of the huddle. And you want to pay off your special teams that sets you up for success.
Burrow on 1st down. Escapes the pocket. He's running with it, and he gives himself up after a short gain.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield, get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Available important abilities for any quarterback.
8 yards to go, and let's see how they approach this 2nd down.
Here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11. 11 MT, Kate. 11
Burrow. He's going to push one deep down the right. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
Ready? 11, 11.
On 3rd down, here's Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And he needed a little more room to reach that line. The stop is made in time. That brings up 4th down. The Bengals send out the punting unit. It'll be Ryan Rico doing the honors. And they'll be backed up to begin this drive. Great work by the punt team, downing it at the 7. Falcons getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10. They're going play fake with Penix. Bails out of the pocket quick. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
You hear so many programs all around the league talk about it's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. Well, discretion, the better part of valor in a lot of cases. And right there, he understood it's all about the ball, and I'm not going to risk a turnover wisely throwing it away.
And he hauls this one up to the 11 before being stopped.
You get a lot of credit to receivers, and rightfully so, Kate, for them going into coverage and making a catch. I don't think we give enough credit to tight ends. I know they're big, I know they're physical, but to go into double coverage, take that contact, and come away with the catch, that's a big-time effort.
Penix on 3rd down. Gets this one to London. And this gets them well away from danger as he is up past their 20. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
And the Falcons, 1st down. 1st and 10 on their 21-yard
Here's
line.
Robinson up the middle. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
From the shotgun, Penix. Nothing doing there as the second down pass falls incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. So they're left facing third and long.
8 yards to go.
Here we go. 19 cards. 19 tight. 19 tight.
Third and long for him here. Pass complete to Robinson. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him.
It's a game of
There's a reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44.
Falcons. First down.
Again, left side. Here's Robinson. And they're going to be humbled here on first down. Going to wind up losing yards on this play. Their dominance against this ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number one is?
Stop the run. Looking for his wide receiver there. That's going to leave him with a tough third and long. To the air with Penix. Trouble brewing, and the Bengals bring him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up fourth down. Punting unit out now. And you'll love the effort on that return as he gets him all the way up beyond the 40. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for first and 10.
11 Mining. 11 Thomas. God.
Burrow from the gun. Short pass brought in. On the move, past the 40. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. It's a massive 35-yard pickup. First down.
Speed kills, baby. You better make that tackle right away on these receivers or you're going to get some serious yak. Those yards after catch just like that. Taking a short gain and turning it into an explosive play.
On the move, headed right. That one's complete, right side. And he's taken down as they very quickly get into first and goal.
I just don't know how you play defense, Kate, and some of the guys in the league today. How can you balance defending somebody who can run for it or throw it right over your head? These dual threat QBs, they're a nightmare.
Brown on first and goal. How about this? He can't even get past the line of scrimmage. No challenge for the end zone here. We'll see them tackle second and goal after the break. The Bengals with it. They've got the lead, but this game is close. Second and goal coming up. 5 yards to the end zone.
Here we go.
Burrow gets it out wide quick. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for third and goal.
11 Thomas. Here we go. 11 and God.
From the gun on third down, it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals now lead by 10. But, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Falcons in good field position here as they start out first and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. Man, some of these middlebackers are so impressive these days, Brock. No problems at all for him to range downhill and cut that play down behind the line.
Kind of the calling card of the position played today. They're not as big as they once were, but boy, can they run. As you said, whether it's downhill or sideline to sideline like that.
Buys time, rolling right. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up third down.
That may not look like much in tomorrow's grade sheet. It'll just be an S for satisfactory. But that's a good decision. Know where to go with the ball, and don't put it in harm's way.
No throw, third and long. Hits him on the out route. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the first.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Down. Cut down the field. It's Pitts. And he's going to take this down to the 31 before he gets taken down. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. A give to Robinson. And that carry only gets one on the plunge up the gut.
They got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Has it downfield working the left. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains. And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone on 1st. And they'll try to set up the screen. Here's Robinson. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, kid, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break out something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller.
And he's in. It's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons now within 1 score in the 4th. It's a Bijan Robinson touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that can score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Starting from the 5. And he's walloped just as he gets across the 25. What a hit. He's down shy of the 30. Cincinnati into formation. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
This drive will begin with a run by Brown. And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Can lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
We've reached the 2-minute warning from Cincy. Bengals leading by 5. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
Here we go, here we go.
Burrow out of the shotgun. Throw left side, and Gesicki has it. And they're going to bring him down just after he crosses the 50. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Oh, Brock, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Chased out to his right. Now here he goes. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
It's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a 1st down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They're going to pass it here. Forced out to his right. Right side cut by Higgins. He made here. Nice pickup, but he stopped a second before he can move those chains.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
11 MT, right 80.
Third down, get to Brown. Just short on third down, no gain on the run, and now what will they do on fourth? The Falcons spend the first of their 3 timeouts. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Big moment coming up for Evan McPherson on this attempt. From the right hash, about 45 yards out. Tracking for it, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a 1-score ball game.
Nate, it's 3 more on the scoreboard, but both sides really know it's all about one possession here in the fourth quarter when it really matters.
And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. Good starting spot here for the Falcons, Brock. This is 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Fits it through the middle. And this great effort winds up getting him well into enemy territory before he's brought down. Timeout called by Atlanta. That's going to be its 2nd. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
First down.
He'll look to throw it. And they got there in time. He's taken down. The Falcons take a timeout to their final 1. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least.
That's now the 3rd time that he's been hauled down in this game, and that one was a biggie. Something's got to get figured out. Either the protection's got to be shored up, or the QB's got to get rid of the ball. You cannot take those kind of negative sacks.
Throwing this one back at the end zone. And that's incomplete, and it also stops the clock with just 5 seconds left.
That's what I call complimentary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
No connection on the last play. Now it's 3rd down.
19 tight. Tight. 60 Eagles. Mustang 19. 18, right here. Warriors 17. 18 back. 18, 60 back. 7 Pirates. Dragon 60.
Throwing now. Maybe a bit of desperation. Here's a deep shot. And this one falls incomplete. No miracles on the final drive today. This game is over. So the Bengals pick up the win in this one. And there was no easy knock.